when I got up this morning, I was like, I would like some cinnamon rolls. So, when a chef has a taste for something, what does she do? Of course, she makes it. Yeah, when everything is in the house that you need to make something delicious. So with these cinnamon rolls, I feel like, she's got to be fancy. So I love me a good citrus flavored cinnamon roll. So I'm going to be adding some orange zest, cardamom, coconut palm. I will do some granulated sugar. Of course, we have some cinnamon here. We're using cake flour this morning. And we're going to see how this turns out. I normally use all-purpose flour, but today, due to us not having any all-purpose flour in the house, we're going to use cake flour. So, this means it should just be extra light and fluffy since we normally sift cake flour. So we're going to see how this goes. I'm using, of course, a plant-based milk. And we have a thermometer so we can actually make sure we don't kill the yeast. It needs to be at 110 degrees when we put it in there so it will activate. And I'll always add a little bit of vanilla. So yeah, that's what we're doing this morning, you guys. So while he's sleeping, I'll just allow the fresh smell of cinnamon rolls and bacon wake him, since he has to work today. Yep, that's what I'll do. So we are heating the almond milk up with the butter. And we're going to get this to 110 degrees. Check it with the thermometer and make sure. Remember, you cannot kill the yeast, you guys. Killing the yeast will ruin your dough. So this is 3.5 cups of cake flour. So this is ready. It's over the temperature, so we're going to let it cool down. So I know it's over the temperature because I can tell that it's piping hot. And so we don't want it piping hot. We want it lukewarm, so warm to the touch. So right now, we're not going to put the active yeast in there. We're going to let this cool down. And then we will check the temperature in a few moments. When it's at 110, we'll go ahead and add the yeast and let that do its thing. Okay, so we're going to add all the dry ingredients together. That was the actual salt. So sugar. That is what helps activate the yeast as well. You do need to put salt in there. Do not omit the salt. That little bit, not going to be for flavor. It is to make sure that your cinnamon rolls are doing its cinnamon rolly thing. We are going to check the temperature. I just grabbed my meat thermometer. See, that's still way too hot. Should not be at 120. Should be at 110. And it's going. Yeah. So we just going to wait for that to come down some more. Not trying to kill it. We're creating goodness here. Okay, so you're just making sure that all of your dry ingredients is mixed in very well. And that was 1/4 cup of sugar into the dough. And 1/2 a teaspoon of salt. Sorry. I had to brain freeze for a second. So yeah. Yep, and we removed a little bit of the dough so we can add that at the end for when we are making those rolls rolling, Okay, so now we're going to activate this. The temperature is ready. All your active yeast in there. And then give it a quick stir. Let it sit and activate. You can see the yeast is growing, so it means you're activated very well. Good job. Oh, look at that zest. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Let's get this together, you guys. Okay, and we've also prepared the bowl that we are going to be putting the dough in to rest for 10 minutes while it rises. And we're going to go ahead and add these ingredients. I cannot find my dough hook. I'm hoping that I did not leave it on my last business trip. And so I'll have to purchase another one. Anyway, let's just go ahead and we'll just use this. We won't over mix the dough. Okay, so we'll just use it to mix in as needed. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add that active yeast a little at a time and mix it in just so it can actually get wet. Right, and we mix the remaining all in. Yep. Okay, and as you can see, it's clunking together just like if we were using a dough hook. So don't be afraid if you can't find one of your products or you do not have one. Do your thing. Don't overmix, and this is good enough. We'll use our hands to knead this along the way. Okay, so we'll use our hands to mix this, the remaining way. Okay, so we have prepared the surface, and so we're just going to add this and knead it. So we're going to go ahead and add this to the pre-greased bowl. Put it in there like so. And we're going to cover it so it will actually go through the fermenting process, which is when heat allows the dough to. See, we have now added the dough to the bowl. So I want you to get a clear vision of what the dough size is right now. And we're going to give it about 10 minutes to come to a nice size. Okay, as you can see, the yeast has grown, or excuse me, the dough has grown. And now we're going to go ahead and finish this off. Yay! Okay, so here is the cinnamon sugar mixture. There is our orange zest. Yum, yum, yum. So we're still just waiting for it to rise. Okay, so we have our dough all done. So I'm just adding the butter. Make sure we get the butter nicely on here. You definitely got to use your hands for this. Nice and buttery. Okay, so the butter is all on there. I did forget to record the rolling out the dough, but you know, you see it. All right. Nicely done. We're going to add the cinnamon sugar. Yes. Don't be. Make sure you get all that goodness on there. Yes. Okay. You know, attention to my wall. I gotta redo it. You pay attention to these cinnamon buns. Okay. Yep. And then we're going to add some zest of the orange. That goodness all over. And I think I'm going to make like a orange icing to go on top. Yes, this part is the messy part, you guys. Messy, but so worth it. Don't let nobody tell you different. Okay, so that part is done. So here's when we roll it up. We're going to roll it nice and tightly. So we're doing rolling, rolling. Want that to be some goodness. So we're rolling, rolling, rolling. Trying to get it all nice and rolled up. This part. This is when you get into it. This is when you get into it, you guys. You're getting into the damn thing. Alright. So we are rolling. Yeah, I picked a weird angle to roll, didn't I? I know. But guess what? It's getting done. That's all that matters. Look at that. Nice roll. Yay! This girl. Alright, so now we are going to cut the cinnamon rolls. And measure them. So I'm using like the 2-finger measurement. So I'll have exactly the same size for each. This is how I do it. Sometimes I use a ruler, but this is home. So we ain't got to get like that. See, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Let me just go through there. Okay. And then just go ahead and put them in the pan. Let's just do that. For goodness sakes. For goodness sakes. You know what I'm saying? You know what I love about cinnamon rolls? You can actually customize them to be whatever flavor you want them to be. You can even make them a low sugar type of cinnamon roll by substituting granulated with palm. Like, this is not going to be like completely low sugar because we use the different types of sugar. That's what I did today. But you could have, I could have used erythritol or stevia, you know, something else instead of what we used, but we didn't. And we're okay with that. And so we have the cinnamon rolls. All right, so we have the cinnamon rolls all rolly and ready. So I'm going to make this icing real quick. Okay, so we're just going to add some vanilla, some of this orange flavor. I don't know why I didn't get my actual juicer, but you know. All right, so we are literally just going to mix this around to make this icing. You see it's coming together. Kind of hard to do and record, but it's coming together. You see that goodness? Smells good. Okay, so we have made the icing. Added the cream cheese offline. Added some walnuts as well. So we give it a nice little walnut orange zest cream cheese icing. So we're just going to add it to this baggie. Right, so we're going to go ahead. We have baggie here, and we're going to make this icing do what it do. Yum. Oh wait, we missing one? We're missing one. So, yummy, yummy, yummy. And this is easy like Sunday morning. Listen, you ain't got one, get you one. Because I'm not available unless you want to pay me. Smell it. Smell it. Smell it.